Pizza is by far one of the greatest contributions of Italy to humanity. Grazie Italia per la pizza! We all need something to comfort our souls in crazy times like this. So pizza is one of the most comforting foods for me. For me, it's not only food for the body, it's also food for the soul. And I'll show you my version of pizza. As you all know already, Italy is my favorite country in the world. I already asked God if he could arrange that on my next life, I will be born Italian. Love Italian food, and pizza is one of the most amazing Italian inventions. Ready to start working on the pizza. This is my favorite apron of all aprons. It's an apron that I created for each and every one of my workers at my atelier. Great women that I love so much. It says actually that the best way to prepare a successful collection is not to forget that the most important ingredient of them all is love. Love is the most important and essential ingredient in everything in life. So I'm thinking of preparing an apron like this for you guys whenever this quarantine is done and over with Corona. Thank you very much, Corona. We've had enough of you. I'll make one for you and on how to prepare the perfect recipe or the perfect dish. So we're going to start with the flour. You know, all-purpose flour is good. I like to use pizza flour, and if you can find some, just go ahead and get it. So it's 1 kilo of flour, 1 whole kilo of flour. It's 1,000 grams of flour. Into my mixer bowl, 4 teaspoons of dry yeast. For those of you who don't want to prepare a whole kilo, half a kilo is perfect as well, depends on how many people. I always send some pizza and everything that I cook to my sisters these days. They live not far away from me, so they can walk and come and pick it up. 4 tablespoons of olive oil. You know me, how much I love olive oil. So good for your cholesterol, bad cholesterol. I'm going to put Captain Hook on my mixer. Activate my mixer on 1 and start adding the water. The water has to be warm, not cold and not boiling. 1, 2, a little less than 3/4, 2/3. So all together, 2 3/4 of water. Warm water, not cold, not hot. My dough is working. I let my dough work for 10 minutes. Ma voglio mangiare la pizza. I love Italian. I wish I could speak Italian. Managgia. Okay, what are the Italian words that I do know? Of course, I know how to say auguri, which is good luck to all my brides that are Italian. I know how to say ti amo, which means I love you. I know how to say che è il prezzo dei botti per la vetrina when I want to buy a pair of boots in Italy. And and Italy. Ti amo troppo troppo, di tutto mi heart. Okay, it's time to touch my dough and give it some human touch.
I see that there is no need for social distancing between you and your dough.
No, not between me and my dough. Michal is wearing a mask, so we're perfectly fine. So I'm working my dough with my hands. I believe in a human touch. Nothing can really be good without some human love. What do you think, Sal?
I think that's the thing that we miss the most.
Yes, it's
Some human touch.
absolutely. That's what I miss most right now is a good hug, a good kiss, seeing all my brides and hugging them and kissing them. I think I hug and kiss at least 80 to 100 brides a day on a weekend at Kleinfeld. Believe it or not. Even brides that don't purchase my dresses. It just, they come to me and they ask for a hug and a picture and a kiss. And it's my greatest pleasure to do that always. Okay, I think I touched my dough enough. I think because I'm missing some human touch myself, besides David and Patchouli, I'm touching my dough a little too much. So there you go. It's well touched. It's actually loved. Before I let my dough rise, I'm going to cover it with some sticky plastic. Somebody please DM me. How do you call this? Sticky
Wrapping
thing.
paper, I think.
Wrapping paper,
I think so.
wrapping plastic, but it's plastic. I mean,
Wrapping
and it's
plastic.
sticky. I don't know. Okay, if anybody can, Christina, Ali.
So here is
Oh
a
my
challenge for you, all of Pnina's followers.
Yeah, how do you call this? This sticky plastic. Or I'll just continue calling it sticky plastic. I'm going to cover it with a kitchen towel and let it rest for at least an hour until it doubles its size. We'll go back to it together. Stay tuned. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת. אמן. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I just bless the whole world for better times and for health, and that everything will be good for all of us. That all this madness will be behind us, and we'll be able to go back to our normal lives, healthy with our loved ones, to a better world. Shabbat Shalom. I'm not done yet. In the meantime, I will go and prepare my tomato sauce for my pizza. Come, let's go. Let's do it together. The tomato sauce. A pan this size, depending on how many tomatoes you're going to prepare. I like to prepare more sauce than what I need because I will freeze it and then use it at least for 2 times, 2 pizzas. So we have 5 tablespoons of olive oil in the pan, 10 garlic cloves, not gloves, cloves, peeled and sliced. They'll go into my oil. So 10 garlic cloves for 15 peeled and cut tomatoes. You see my tomatoes are peeled and they're cut into like little squares. Okay, when the garlic is goldish, just like this. Take a look, Michal. Don't let your garlic burn. It's a catastrophe when it burns. You can add the tomatoes. Make sure you stir and you turn the tomatoes all the time. What we want is for the tomatoes to lose their water and to caramelize themselves. That's when you get the essence of the taste of a good tomato. I like when my tomatoes are red and ripe for a sauce because it makes the sauce much more yummier. A tip for you for how to peel your tomatoes. So you need boiling water, a big bowl of boiling water. You have to soak the tomatoes in boiling water, but before you do so, you take a tomato and with a knife, you just do a little X on the tomato, like the X factor. Not too deep, and just place the tomatoes in the boiling water, wait for at least 10 minutes, and the peel will just come off by itself. That's a good tip for peeling tomatoes. My sauce is made only with peeled tomatoes. Of course, those of you who have seen how I prepare my tomato soup know that I like to mix several kinds of tomatoes, different kinds of tomatoes. For example, the date tomato by Muti. I don't have all the tomatoes, fresh, but a can is perfect, good quality can. So once my tomatoes will lose their water and will reduce themselves and caramelize themselves, that's when I will add the other tomatoes into my sauce. Make sure the fire is high and keep stirring so that it doesn't stick to the bottom of your pan. This happens to be a very good pan, and it doesn't really stick to it unless it burns. By moving, you can prevent it from sticking. They're starting to reduce themselves. You see there's a lot of water. Look. Still, they're bringing out their water. Soon they'll be reduced, and we will continue. Take a look at my tomatoes. They're the only ones I've got. Okay, so my tomatoes are almost reduced. They're doing very well. See how creamy they're becoming? So my tomatoes are reduced. I added one of these date tomato cans. I'm adding the second one. I'm just taking the tomatoes out without the sauce because for the pizza, I don't want too much liquid in my sauce. I want my sauce to be thick and dry because I don't want to wet my dough too much when it goes into the oven. There we go. So these are my date tomatoes into my reduced fresh tomatoes. 1 can of tomato paste. Stir everything well. Whenever I add tomato paste and whenever I work with a lot of tomatoes, I like to add a full tablespoon of sugar to break the acidity of the tomato. And for 15 tomatoes, I'm going to add a flat tablespoon of salt. It's up to you. If you like it more salty, if you like it less salty. But of course, never forget to grind pepper into your sauce. It's what makes it really Italian. Good pepper. Prega. Voglio pepper in the tomato sauce? Si, signor. You forgive me, you know, with this quarantine, I lose it sometimes. Eccole. Perfecto. I'm gonna let this cook for at least 40 minutes. The more the better. Cover my pan, lower the fire. Make sure that that the steam comes out of your pan. So you can cover it like halfway through, just like this. Or if you have like one of those that you can control whether it's hermetically closed or the steam comes out. Now we're gonna go take care of the dough because the dough is waiting for us and it is now doubled. It has doubled its size and it's time to start working on the dough. Come, let's go. I'm going to flour my working area. Look at my dough. It's more than doubled itself. It's perfectly ready. Okay, so I'm just going to work the dough lightly, not too much because we're not supposed to work it too much at this stage. I fill in a bowl with some olive oil. I'm dipping my dough balls in the olive oil. I should have like 4 beautiful balls. I'll dip it in the olive oil. I love working with dough. Perfect. So I have 4 beautiful balls of dough. I'll separate them so they can rise. I'll cover them with wax paper. And with a towel. I'll let them raise for another 20 minutes. So 1 hour or so for this to double its size for the dough, and then another 20 minutes for the pizza balls to raise. See you soon. While cooking on a small fire, because I lowered my fire to a minimum, I'm going to insert my basil leaves. I have 5 basil leaves here and 2 little branches of thyme. All this, I like to put it in a little container, but you can also put it straight into the sauce. It's going into the sauce. I'll cover it so it gives it all the aroma, the basil and the thyme. My tomato sauce is ready. Back to the dough. Look at these dough balls, how beautiful. They raised so beautifully. So now I'll start opening the dough for the pizza. To work the dough, I'm going to fill a bowl with a little bit of flour so that I can dip my pizza ball. in the flour. It's so soft. I cleaned my surface. I'm powdering it with flour. A lot of flour, don't worry. You need to work the dough. Okay, so the dough is open. For those of you who have a pizza roller, I make some holes on my pizza. But for those of you who don't, even a fork can do the same exact work. So I have this wooden tray in order to put my pizza in the oven. But if you have a pizza tray, it's great. Or if you don't, just put it on wax paper on a tray and put the tray into the oven. I'm going to powder my wooden spatula with a lot of flour. And then take my pizza dough and lay it on the tray. This will be the size of my pizza. So I'm just going to cut the excess of dough with a knife. I love cooking and I love sharing my recipes with you guys, and that's what really counts. There you go. So this will be the size of my pizza. So in the meantime, my tomato sauce went into this bowl by itself. I didn't even have to help it. And I'm spreading my tomato sauce on my pizza with the chunks of tomatoes. I like it with the chunks of tomatoes, but if you don't, then you can grind your tomato sauce into a very homogenic sauce. So, I mean, it's really up to you how you want to garnish your pizza. I personally love mushrooms, so mushrooms definitely my choice. These are champignons. The white, plain, simple mushrooms, the more the better. So I prepared here some black Moroccan olives. I took the seed out of them. Whoever loves olives, perfect for that. I'll put a few for David. Michal, do you like olives?
Very much.
I'll put for you too. I'll make you a pizza of your own. You deserve it.
You promise?
Yes, I promise. Some corn. Canned corn is perfect. I like to use fresh corn, but if you have canned corn, it's perfect. It's a couture pizza, Michal. Okay, my favorite, guys, I know not everyone loves them, but are the anchovies. So I love anchovies. And Michal loves anchovies too, I think.
Yes.
Which is the brand of these? Ortiz?
Ortiz.
Okay, the brand
I
of
think
these.
they are the best in the world.
Yeah. Ortiz anchovies. Perfect for your pizza. Let me put them. I'm going to put many because Michal loves them too.
You are spoiling us.
Yes, I am. I wish I could spoil all my friends out there. Parmesan cheese. I love Parmesan cheese. So, as much as you can. Ooh, troppo Parmigiano cheese. The Gruyere is for the next pizza. This is my pizza. Let's go put it in the oven. I preheated my oven on the highest heat that it can go, 250 Celsius degrees. I preheated my tray so that it will crust the bottom of the pizza. I'm going to apply wax paper, baking paper, and my pizza is going into the oven. Oh my God, it's supposed to slide, but it didn't. It didn't because we waited too long. So I did manage to put the pizza on the tray. Believe it or not, it's going to be an excellent pizza. Don't forget that I'm a very successful fashion designer. My name is Pnina Tornai. This is not my main business, but trust me, that pizza will be so tasteful. You're gonna wanna have some. My pizza will bake for around 10 minutes, but you have to watch it and look at it constantly, see that it's not burning, but it's good for it to be crispy and it's going to come out great. I think my pizza's ready. Indeed it is. I am going to bring it out, put it on my tray. There we go. Homemade pizza. Look at the crust of the dough. Molto bene, molto buone. Delicioso. Buon appetito.